The reports received, the election commenced as scheduled and has progressed well and peacefully in a majority of polling stations across the country. However, we have faced and continue to face challenges which are largely security-related in certain electoral areas. The Commission is consulting on and assessing the prevailing security situation that affects electoral areas experiencing security challenges. And in this regard, the Commission has written and shared its specific concerns with the Inspector General of Police. The Commission is keenly following the security situation and continues its consultations on the same, and we have made a determination that in areas affected, which include the following counties, Homa Bay, Kisumu, Migori, and Shire, and in accordance with Section 55B of the Elections Act and Regulation 64A of the General Regulations, the Commission has postponed elections in those areas to Saturday, the 28th October this week. That is 28th October 2017. And so there will be repeat elections in those areas in accordance with the law as provided.
So like we mentioned, one of the areas where the poll has been postponed is Kisumu, and the county governor there, Professor Peter Nyong'o, has led other leaders in complaining bitterly about shooting of some residents by police. It was a day filled with tension and fear as voting failed to take place in the country. Rashid Ronald reports.
Victims of alleged police brutality at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Referral Hospital in Kisumu. Samuel Oko is amongst them. He was shot in the leg. Duncan Baraza claims that police stormed into his house at Nyalenda Estate.
Nimekuwa kwa nyumba nikitengeneza chai. Jirani yangu akaniambia chai kiiva niite. Sasa mimi nilikuwa nafungua mlango, watu walikuwa wanapita mbio. Mimi kufungua mlango, watu wakaingia hapo, fungua mlango. Mimi kufungua mlango. Ati nini nikakataa kufungua mlango kwanza, akasema ukapasua hiyo kioo hapo juu. Akasema kama sifungui mlango anarusha tear gas. Na nilikuwa na mtoto wa 1 week hapo, nikaona hapana, mtoto anaweza kufa hapa. Wacha tu mimi sacrifice huko mbele. Kutoka hivi ndo akaanza wakanipiga. Nilikuwa na 18,000 kwa mfuko. Nafanya kazi ya gas, wakachukua wakaenda nayo. Sasa after kuingiza tu hiyo mkono hivi wakaona hiyo pesa, wakani release. Wakasema hapana, wewe enda sasa.
At the hospital's morgue lies the body of 19-year-old George Odhiambo, allegedly shot dead by police at Obunga Estate. Several people were injured as police battled protesters here in Kisumu.
Here in Kisumu, as soon as the police see 5 or 6 people together, they shoot at them. Why are they shooting? And we've already said we are not voting, we are just standing by the roadside. And if we put roadblocks, it's just to stop us from going to vote ourselves. So why should they shoot to kill?
An ambulance ferrying another victim to hospital.
A total of 29 victims shot by the police have been received in this hospital. 26 of these people have gunshot wounds. Nobody shoots. But what's that?
That's a woman, a lady.
A woman and a child. Yes, look at that.
From door to door.
Yes, from door to door.
Yeah.
You can see this. This is terrible thing.
Kondele roundabout was the epicenter. A cat and mouse game between police and protesters the whole day. Residents of Kisumu had vowed to ensure that voting does not take place, and indeed they succeeded.
Today, as the governor of Kisumu, I'm declaring 1 week period of mourning.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are not going to vote when we are mourning.
Yes.
If Chebukati wants us to vote, let him resurrect the dead first, so that we don't mourn. But otherwise, we are mourning for 1 week. There will be no voting in Kisumu County.
28 still falls in October, and we said October, no election. October, no election. 28th is still part of that October.
Yes, exactly. Up to late this evening, voting materials were still lying at respective tallying centers here in Kisumu County. IEBC officials failed to collect them for fear as youths camped in respective polling stations to ensure the exercise does not take place. Rashid Ronald, KTN News, in the county of Kisumu.
Okay, so let's now speak to Hussein Mohammed. Just before we get there, could we cross over to the Bomas of Kenya right now and listening to what's happening now?
This is our further update. We saw about the delay. We were trying to get the statistics. We have 40,883 polling stations. Out of the 40,883 polling stations, 35,564 polling stations opened or sent an opening message, meaning voting took place, and this represents 87% of the total number of polling stations in the country. 5,319 polling stations did not send an opening message, meaning either there was no voting or voting may have taken place, but they don't have network for purpose of sending the message. 50 constituencies had all the polling stations opened at 100%. So far, we have received 27,124 from 34As. This is both at the back end and in the public portal, which means this is part of what forms 80% of the 35,564 polling stations which opened this morning. The estimated turnout, and this is an estimate, the actuals are being worked on. Estimated turnout as at 5 p.m. stood at 48%. That's turnout of the voters stood at 48% as at 5 p.m. Now, these 5,319 polling stations that did not open or are yet to send a message are spread across the country. So it's important to understand that, and I said earlier in our afternoon release that the counties which I mentioned, I said including, I did not specifically say those particular counties. I said including the counties which I stated in the afternoon. So thank you very much. That's our current update. We shall continue updating you at a time you shall be informed. Thank you. Yes? That's, I see a hand there.
Just a clarification, Chairman. You're saying that apart from Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, and Migori counties, there are more that will have a repeat election on Saturday.
Yes.
Could you specify? You say 5,319 polling stations, yes, but where are the rest? Are you including Kibra constituency in Nairobi?
Let me say that the information is being worked on. We haven't got all the counties, all the polling stations. This information is still being worked on, and we shall be giving you a further update. There are some which were challenged because of the weather. There are others which couldn't open because of security issues. And we want to give you a comprehensive list. It will be gazetted tomorrow for purposes of voting on Saturday. And that's why we want to get it, get everything correct, and it shall be given to you.
Jina langu ni Mathias Momanyi kutoka KBC Radio Taifa. Labda ndugu Chebukati, ukiangalia kuna changamoto ambazo zimeibuka katika sehemu mbalimbali za nchi. Hii ikiwemo shughuli nzima ya kutimiza ile asilimia inayokusudiwa ya upigaji kura. Je, tukiangalia juzi wakituambia kwamba hii inaitwa quorum inaweza kuwa ni sababu ya kufanya maamuzi, na je, kama tunaweza kuangalia hii kwa misingi ya quorum katika upigaji kura, huu uchaguzi unaweza kusema kwamba ni mkamilifu?
Swali yako unauliza kama uchaguzi ni mkamilifu. Tunaendelea na kufanya ile mahesabu. Kuna watu wanahusika, kuna maobservers huko nje, na sisi sote tutakuja hapa tuseme kama uchaguzi ni kamilifu ama si kamilifu wakati tutakuwa na hesabu zote.
Okay, my name is Erin Mwangi from KUTV. My first question, please specify 48% turnout is how many voters. And my second question is that you're saying that in Kiambu, in Siaya, Homa Bay, and Migori, they'll be voting on Saturday. And did the commission consider that on Saturday we'll be having the Seventh-day Adventists going to church? Did you consider that it might interfere with them coming out to vote?
Thank you for your question. Let me say that we are working within the law. We are working within the constitutional framework. Election results must be announced within 7 days from today. And sacrifices must be given. And so the commission considered all factors before arriving at the day of Saturday. And it's not just Nyanza, as I said. We have other areas in the country where polling did not take place, and all those areas will be given an opportunity to exercise their rights on Saturday, those who want to vote. Those who don't want to vote will not be forced to vote. It's a constitutional right. And so the date of Saturday, or the day of Saturday, was taken after deliberation in the commission, taking into consideration the fact that time is a constitutional dispensation and we must follow